is Kathy, and today I'll be continuing the course on music theory. But before I do, I wanted to tell you that I have a great many videos now on many different topics, and so I've decided to make several different video playlists so that it's easier to find the videos of greatest interest. So please check out my playlist page. This course breaks itself into three major parts. The first part is basic music theory. The second part is arranging music, and the third part is music composition. In this lesson, we will continue to learn about basic music theory. In this lesson, we will learn more about simple time. In lesson 3, we learned about time signatures, and in this lesson, we will get a little deeper into this material, starting with simple time. As you learned from lesson 3, in simple time, the lower figure of the time signature can be a 2, 4, or even an 8, and that this lower figure indicates what type of a note will get a beat. As an example, a time signature with a 4 as the bottom figure will use a quarter note as its basic beat. For a time signature with a 2 as the bottom figure, the half note will be used as the basic beat. And for a time signature with an 8 as the bottom figure, the eighth note will be used as the basic beat. In simple time, the first beat of every measure is the strong accent, and the other beats are either medium or weak accents. In simple 2 time, the accent pattern is strong, weak, strong, weak, strong, weak, and so forth. In simple 3 time, the accents are strong, weak, weak, strong, weak, weak, strong, weak, weak, and so forth. In simple 4 time, the accents are strong, weak, medium, weak, strong, weak, medium, weak, and so forth. In simple time, each basic beat can be divided into 2 equal parts. The division of the beat is called the breakdown of the beat. The basic beat is very important, and smaller note values must be grouped or have their stems joined according to the basic beat of the music. The only exception to this rule is for simple time. The notes are grouped to show the strong and the medium accents. Normally, all the measures of a piece of music must have exactly the number of beats indicated in the time signature. The beats may be filled with any combination of notes or rests, with duration values also dictated by the time signature, but they must combine to make exactly the right number of beats. If a measure or group of measures has more or fewer beats, the time signature must change. There is one common exception to this rule. Often a piece of music does not begin on the strongest downbeat. Instead, the strong beat that people like to count as 1, as in the beginning of a measure, happens on the second or third note, or even later. In this case, the first measure may be a full measure that begins with some rests, but often the first measure is simply not a full measure. This shortened first measure is called a pickup measure. If there is a pickup measure, the final measure of the piece should be shortened by the length of the pickup beat, a measure. For example, if the meter of the piece has 4 beats and the pickup measure has 1 beat, then the final measure should have only 3 beats. Of course, any combination of notes and rests can be used as long as the total of the first and final measure equals 1 full measure. A piece that is using pickup measures or pickup notes may also sometimes place a double bar with or without repeat signs inside a measure in order to make it clear which phrase and which section of the music the pickup notes belong to. If this happens, which is a bit rare because it can be confusing to read, there is still a single bar line where it should be at the end of the measure. At the ends of sections of music, a measure may be interrupted by a double bar line that places the pickup note in the correct section and assures that repeats have the correct number of beats. When this happens, the bar line will still appear at the end of the completed measure. This notation can be confusing though, and in some music the pickups and repeats are written in a way that avoids these broken up measures. If you want to divide a note length into anything other than halves or halves of halves in simple time, say you might want to divide a beat into thirds or fifths, for example, you must write the number of the division over the notes. This unusual subdivisions are called borrowed divisions because they sound as if they have been borrowed from a completely different meter. They can be difficult to perform correctly and are avoided in music for beginners. The only one that is commonly used is triplets, which divide a note length into equal thirds. Any common note length can be divided into an unusual number of equal length notes and rests. For example, by dividing a whole note into 3 instead of 2 half notes. The notes are labeled with the appropriate number. If there might be any question as to which notes are involved in the borrowed division, a bracket is placed above them. Triplets are by far the most common borrowed division. When it comes to rests and simple time, the same principles are used for grouping the rests in a piece of music as it is for notes of a piece of music. The basic beat and the breakdown of the beat must be written as it was for the time signatures. Remember that the rest for a silent measure is used in a different way from the other rests. A whole rest is to be used for a complete silent measure, regardless of the time signature. On your manuscript pad, copy out and complete this worksheet. On your manuscript pad, copy out and complete this worksheet. I will supply the answers. And here are the answers to the worksheet so that you can check your work. Here are the musical terms to memorize for this week. Allegro vivace, lively and quite quickly. Con moto, with motion. Espressivo, expressively. Tranquillo, in a quiet manner. I have a great many videos now on many different topics, and so I've decided to make several different video playlists so that it's easier to find the videos of greatest interest. So please check out my playlist page. Well, that's it for now. To stay up to date with my latest videos, make sure to subscribe to this free YouTube channel by clicking the red subscribe button right below this video. Take care.